What is your reaction to the judge's decision?
I was surprised by it because when a motion to suppress is appealed, these are the findings of the trial judge. In this case, Judge Fox usually upheld unless it's clearly erroneous, and it had been through the a post-conviction motion as well as been through a Court of Appeals opinion several years ago. The basis for the opinion was the denial by Judge Fox of a suppression motion that I filed and litigated for the court, and it was not based on any of the other allegations that were made by Dassey's defense team that frankly had no effect on the verdict of his trial. I mean, the trial in Dassey's case occurred with two other attorneys 8 months after I was off, as the Court of Appeals noted. But this issue of the validity of his confession and disadmissibility in front of the jury was something which I had raised, and we presented all the relevant evidence that was cited by Magistrate Judge Duffin, including Brendan's age and school records showing his intellectual abilities, testimony from his mother, and so forth. I'm not his attorney anymore. It's been a while since I've seen, the case file and remember the exact details of the statement. It was a 4.5-hour statement. I remember we pointed out from a transcript different promises that were made and inducements and things like that that were also cited by Judge Magistrate. So it was nice that there was some recognition that I did my job.
Sure. Now, do you think, I know you said you're surprised by the judge's decision. Do you think it was the right decision?
I guess I'll leave that up to the appellate courts to decide if it was the right decision or not. I guess I was just surprised because these things are rarely ever reversed on appeal like there was by Magistrate Judge Duffin today.
Sure. Now, there has been, a lot of criticism ever since Making a Murderer came out about your work for Dassey. I mean, what do you say to that?
I would say this: there were a couple mistakes I made. One very bad one was ever hiring O'Kelly as an investigator, because he did all kinds of stuff he wasn't authorized to do, and I wasn't able to stop him from doing it. There was. And the one occasion when there was a Saturday interrogation, I had military duty, and so I sent O'Kelly there to do my job for me instead of me, and there were, again, mistakes were made. So but the problem with both of those mistakes is, as serious as they were, in the facts of this case, none of that evidence was ever brought into trial, and none of it was ever, frankly, ever going to be needed by the state or wanted by the state for trial. So Dassey's conviction really had nothing to do with those mistakes. It had everything to do with the fact that the judge denied the motion I filed to suppress the statement. The statement was played in full for 4.5 hours in front of the jury.
Sure. And did the police go about getting this confession in the wrong way?
There were clearly some aspects of it dealing with with his intellectual abilities that were questionable. I guess it'll be up to probably the Seventh Circuit Court of Appeals to say whether or not they went too far. There's no bright line rule on what you can and can't do when you're interrogating a juvenile, other than there was in the Jarrell case, Jerrell, which was decided like a couple of years before Dassey's case took place, saying you look at all the circumstances, they have to be recorded, and it was recorded. So all the evidence was there, but two different judges, Judge Fox and Magistrate Judge Duffin, apparently saw the same recording, the same other evidence that was presented as a motion hearing at the trial, and came to different conclusions.
Yeah. Well, I think that's all of my questions. Is there anything I'm missing that you want to add?
No, that's it.